Oh, there are dozens of misconceptions, even from the beginning when I started in this field, that antioxidants are the solution. They're not. I mean, they're helpful, but they're not going to extend your lifespan. Antioxidants haven't extended the lifespan of pretty much any organism that they've been given to. So when you see on the shelf, drink this for antioxidants, be skeptical. What really we've realized is that there are longevity genes that keep us alive. So most people yet don't realize that our body has enormous capacity to heal and live longer if we just treat it the right way and give it the signals, which, I've just talked about and we'll talk about more. So a big misconception, let's tick them off, that when I talk about living longer, I'm not talking about being older for longer. If I say you can make it to 100, and I think that's very achievable, then we're not talking about being an old, decrepit person. That's why a lot of people don't even want to try. What we're talking about is being as young in your 80s and 90s as you were in your 40s and 50s, like my father is, and he's on my regimen too. And so we're really talking about staying younger for longer, not older for longer. And that's an important distinction. The other is, as you said, Brian, it's generally believed that aging is not something that you can do anything about, that it is natural. Of course, it's natural, but so is cancer, heart disease, and Alzheimer's. And my mantra in my book is aging is also a medical condition. Aging is a disease. And guess what? That disease is also treatable. And it's a mindset to think of that. We need to think of it that way, because just because it's common doesn't mean it's any better or less worse than a disease that affects a minority of people. It's a condition that causes us to lose our ability to see, to hear, to function, to love, to learn, to remember. It's a horrible disease. It's one of the worst chronic diseases you can have. And the truth is that we all are susceptible. But the good news is we can do something about it. Another misconception is that our birthdays matter. It turns out that our chronological age, our birthday candles, and really the number of times the earth has gone around the sun is fairly irrelevant to our health. You can be super healthy in your 90s, or you can be dead. And it can really depend on how you live your life. The other misconception is that your genes are your destiny. DNA is your destiny. Not true. When it comes to longevity, 80% is determined by you and how you've lived your life. Another misconception is that you cannot have an effect on your age, your longevity, until late in life. You can wait. Turns out that you're aging from conception. That clock we can measure, it goes up every day. It's ticking all the time. And to get the biggest bang for the buck in your life, you need to start early. And then the last one is you can fake it. Actually, what I want to say, Brian, actually is more important, is that often people have this aversion to knowing things. I don't want to know my genetics. I don't want to know how long I'm going to live, which, by the way, I can tell you. I don't want to know if I've got a gene for Alzheimer's disease, a mutation, or an allele, as we call it. Now, I hear that every day, actually. And my response is, knowledge is power. And knowledge is not going to change, is not going to make it worse, that's for sure. And it's very likely to make it better. And if you know that something is coming, you can actually act to change it. And, understandable, if you can't do anything about it, why do you need to know? But if you can do something about it, you absolutely should know. And we can do that now. We can measure our health, our longevity, perspectives, and also for diseases that are coming, and take action early.